Let's run MS Access by adding validation rule, creating forms and generating query. Let's start. First, it is telling you to create a database name as Riverdale Public School. Click on blank database. Write here the name Riverdale Public School. Click on the folder for the location. I'll choose desktop. Usually you need to write with your grade, division and your name. I am just writing Riverdale Public School. Click on OK. You can see the name, the location has changed. Click on create. Now it is asking me to create a table as library student. So I'll go to table. When I go to the design view, it will automatically ask me for the table name. Otherwise, you can just right click and rename. That's the option is there. You can rename it. First field is library ID. Now if you notice here for the field name they have not put space. It is allowed to without a space or you can put a space, both are correct. Just make sure that you are not allowed to write any of the symbol. Not at the rate, not dot. Only underscore is allowed, not any other thing. Library ID is short text. It's a unique ID that is assigned to each student. We are not adding any of the description. It's an optional if you see. This field is unique, so by default it's a primary key. We are not changing it. Then we have student name, which is short text. Class section, again short text. Date of birth. It's not a short text, it is date and time. Membership date, that is also date and time. Borrowed books, it's in numbers. Now in number, if you see in a field size, it's mentioned as integer. So long integer means when you have so many numbers in it, we use long integer. For few of the digits that you want, it's more than 5 or 6, then you use a normal integer. Similarly, in case if they have asked that it should allow a decimal value, you can use decimal or double, both are correct. So click on integer, email ID, short text, annual fee is currency. For currency also the format is there. In case if they have given currency to particular way, you can choose it. Okay, but currently it's completely currency, so we are not changing any of the thing here. And is active member as yes. This is yes and no field. Save. Please understand, once you are done with one particular task, you need to save the database. It will make you understand if in case any of the error is there or not. Once you are done, go to datasheet view to check. Okay, it's coming correctly. Let's go back to the next task. It is telling me to implement a validation rule. First, student name should not be keep it blank. Student name should not be keep it blank. There is two things you can do. You can write is not null. It will automatically change with the space, or you can put required as yes. So if it is asking you in validation rule, please put is not null. Otherwise, if it is asked in the description over there that this field needs to be compulsory or it needs to not be keep blank, you can put required as yes. Now here library ID must be exactly 7 character long, where it is given an example like this. Okay, one more thing we miss. We need to write a validation text for this. This is the validation text. Now I'll go to library ID. So exactly 7 character long, that doesn't mean you need to write a len. It's not a len check. If you see the example is given, it is mentioned over here with LPS-101. So it's kind of a format check. So for format check, if you want, you can put field size as 7 over here. Exactly 7, ideally you can use len. But here, though we have given a format, you can write like in quotation mark LPS dash and 3 hashtag. This will exactly be 7 character along with the symbol. So LPS dash hashtag this, and error message library ID must be 7 characters like this. So this makes the person understand that you need to write library ID with LPS at starting initials and then start with 101, 102, 103. As we are writing a numbers, that's why we are adding a hashtag. If there is no specific format is given, only they have mentioned as LPS dash whatever I want ABCD or I want A1 B2 like this way. In that case you will put star. Now email ID must contain @ Again for that you can use like double quote star @star. So star means basically you can add any kind of characters over there including letters, numbers and symbol. @ is compulsory. So before @ and after @ the data is there. Dot star. So ideally this is the way validation of email ID is going to be there. Last but not the least, borrowed book must be less than 15. So here is again a not a length check. This is a range check. That means a validation rule we are going to write where it will allow a person to borrow maximum 14 books at a time, not more than 14. So you can write either less than equal to 14 or you can write less than 15. First we need to write validation text. Once we are done, let's move on to borrowed books. Borrowed books validation rule less than equal to 15, less than 15, and write error message. In case if any error message is not given, you know what the validation rule states. Please accordingly write the text which can make the user understand while they are entering the data that this is what is expected for this. Last but not the least, is active member default value should be yes, and it should be displayed as a text box, not a checkbox. Now here when you click on is active member, first next to the general tab go to the lookup tab. In a lookup tab you can see checkbox. Instead of that, click on the drop down menu and change it to text box. Go to general. Here you can see default value is set as no. Instead you have to set it as yes. So I'm not going in built-in function, I'm writing yes directly. Here yes value will not come in double quote because this field is yes and no field. For yes and no field, the value which we are going to enter for comparison also, we don't put double quote. Otherwise, if it is a text, we need to put double quote. Now task 2 is done. We'll click on save. The third is to enter this tree record. So I'll go to datasheet view. For library ID, I'll write LPS dash. It is not allowing me to more than 7 characters because we have set the field size as 7. Now you can see it is showing me an error because I want that particular way. So 101. Student name should not be keep it blank. I am not writing it right now. This is 7A. Date of birth, membership date, borrowed books. I am writing 15. So it's giving me an error. So validation rule is working. This is email ID. This is annual fees. And active member is yes. Now let's go to the next record. Now here you can see it is showing me an error that it should not be keep it blank. So I need to write the name of a student. So this way you need to check your validation rule whether it is working properly or not. Let's add other 2 records. Now as you can see I have added all the record. Here the value is no. So you just need to type no and it will come on its own. So number 3 task is done. Save. Now let's go to the next one. Now it is telling you to create a form based on the library student data. Click on create form wizard. It is not telling me a particular field, so I am going with all the fields. Choose column. The title is already given over here. Please select that the same title. It is asking me what title you want it. Modify the form design and finish. Now I have a design done. I want a header background. It's a header. It's not the text background. So header background, go to the format tab and change it to dark blue. Okay. In the format tab, it is telling you to bold, underline, yellow color, and the background color is dark blue. You can keep this in center. So bold and then underline. Okay. Now here if you see the details are having this much space. There is no space over here to add a button. In this case, please do not add a button in the footer. Simply click on the above line where form footer is written. Drag it down. Now it is asking me first search membership. Ignore this because when you do it is automatically giving you the option by library ID. So we'll go to the form design. Always fourth option is a button. Let's draw the first button. It is asking me for searching a record. I'll go to record operation. Find record. It's telling go. Click on text. Search membership. I'll take this particular text. Same, I'll add a button name and finish. Next is print current record. Go to another button. In record operation, you can see print record. This you have to do. Or print current form. It is asking me to print a record, so I'll go to print record. Text as a print record. Print current record and finish. Last is refresh record. Here the option is refresh form data. Next, text refresh record, same as a name and done. So we have done with the turn 3 record. If you want, you can just arrange that positions. It's not mandatory. Again, save, go to the form view. Here, if you click on search membership, you can see why it is coming with the same field, and click on find next. You can see that record has come over here of Kabir Sharma. If I'll click on print record, it will directly opening a printing dialog box, and refresh record will just refresh the data if you have added anything into it. Okay, let's move on to the last thing. Now it is asking me to create a query. Let's go to create and query wizard. Simple query wizard. Choose the table as the first by default table. Now here it is not asking me all the field. If you notice, student name, borrowed books and class section. Student name, borrowed books and class section. Try to maintain the same order. Click next, detail, next. Here it is already given me what to be saved. So I'm writing exactly the same name. Click on modify, active borrowers report, and click on finish. Now it is telling me the criteria as is active member as yes, and borrowed book should be greater than 3, more than 3. So borrowed book should be greater than 3. You can write in the criteria. And criteria. Now is active member, it should not be visible, but it is there in the criteria. They want it particularly. So in this case, click on the drop down menu next to the class section, choose is active member and uncheck. When you uncheck, that means that particular field is there for the query, but it is not going to come on the table. I'll show you how does it make a difference. Let's first, now here you are not writing in double quote as yes or no, not with the equal to sign, because this is by default yes and no data type. So this is the way you need to write. I'll click on run. Now if you notice, 4 fields are visible in this. Ideally we need to see only 3 fields. So go to the design view and uncheck this. Now run. You can still see 2 records, but it's not having active member. This is what is expected. Again save. Now last, we have to create membership fee report. Create query wizard, simple query. Now here is a catch. You can see it's showing only 3 fields. I am not creating a query based on current generated table. I am creating a query from the main table, which is required to have on the table as student name, annual fee and membership. Student name, annual fee and membership date. That's it. Click on next. Next, let's see what's the name. Fee report 2023. Finish. Okay, dot and double quote should not be there. Now for this, the validation rule is annual fee should be greater than 2500. That's it. Save and run. Ta-da! We have received 1 record. This is the way you need to practice. Every single stuff, just go through a small content of data types or form or report. Unsure, you go to the design view, check the criteria. Is there any sorting given? Is there or and is there, in case if they want a name of Kabir and Arav as a student name. So in this you can write equal to Kabir, again in a double quote, or without double quote, and Arav. This was 2 names given. So I'll just erase this and run. Okay, there should not be any proper data with it. So this is the way you need to mention in case if any of the field they are asking you to add. So why it was not coming? Because I have written only Kabir, I have not written the entire name. If you want a data with any of the letters starting with K or R, you can again add a star. So when you write the entire name and run, you can see both the records are coming. This is the way you can run a query, and while creating a database, please ensure to check every single stuff, which is the primary key and which is the data type set. Please practice at home. Thank you everyone. Bye. Take care.